Hello YouTubers, it's JSky91, and today I'm going to be starting the first part of what will be a long segment of PLLs and OLLs videos. So basically I'm going to go through each of my OLLs and each of my PLLs and make a video on each of them. I had considered just doing all my OLLs and all my PLLs in one long video, kind of like I did my F2Ls. But then I realized a lot of these OLLs take a lot of explanation and deserve some explanation. And also after having speaking to a couple of different people who asked why I do the finger tricks I do as opposed to me just showing them, I realized I'm going to take a moment and explain each of them. So these are going to be short videos, but I'm going to go through each of the PLLs, starting with PLLs, and then I'm going to do OLLs, because PLLs are the ones that, will cut the most off your time. And I'm going to explain how I do each of these PLLs. So today, I'll start with the T-Perm. T-Perm is really easy. I love my T-Perm. And one thing I want to start off by saying with all my PLLs is I always try and make sure that they are as regripless and cube rotationless as possible. And the reason I do that is because regripping, if you look at the cube, if I were to regrip this cube, that would be the equivalent of doing something like this. Or something like this, but every single time I have to regrip, it takes time. Time is wasted. It is time that I'm spending doing almost nothing. I'm achieving a goal, but the goal itself isn't even really worth it, if especially that goal could be avoided, or that if you could just not regrip at all. And I want you to test this as well. See how long it takes you to do a certain number of regrips. Let's say 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 seconds are wasted when you're doing this. And in a speed solve, seconds mean a lot. So that is why, and you will see in most of my videos, I will try and do as few regrips as possible with almost all my ALGs. And I'd say about 70 to 80% of them have 0 regrips in them. And that's good, and I love that. And it's because of that I can have very smooth, fluid solves where I never even need to move from home grip. And so if I have a cube rotationless or a regripless solve, it's almost always 9 or 8 seconds. Now I'm getting into the 10-second range, but still, those are good solves for me. So we're gonna go ahead and focus on that. And today I'm gonna go over my T-Perm. What I'm first gonna do is just really slowly go through my T-Perm. I'm not gonna say anything. I just want you to see how it looks, and then I'll explain why I do what I do. So here's my T-Perm. It's regripless. It starts from home grip. Okay, one more time. A little bit faster. Okay, so it starts from home grip. Doesn't need to be a grip. I average about 0.8 seconds on this. I'm not very good at doing things on the spot, so I'm not going to fool myself or make myself look like an idiot by trying to do it full speed right now. I'm also not warmed up. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over that really quickly. So first of all, you see I use this finger trick that I showed you guys in the video. And I don't regrip at all for this entire solve. I do everything from home grip, which the first few times I tried this was very difficult, but it got better over time. And it will be the same thing with you as well. So I first do this little pull here so that I don't have to regrip. And it can come down really quickly. And you see what I do here is I immediately, anytime I'm going to use an index, or my left or right index, or I've already used one finger, I don't want to have to really quickly bring it back again, because that wastes time as well. So right here, when I do this pull, I just use this index. So now I know I'm going to have to do another U again. I use this ring finger, right ring, to do this F in there, R2, and while I'm doing that R2, I kind of let my thumb come off. And again, I just did a U prime with this finger, so I'm going to do a U prime with this finger. Okay? And then this is the only time when you actually kind of have to recock, but as you're doing that U prime, you bring this other finger back, and you just end with that thumb. Now your thumb should stay very firmly planted on that sticker when you're doing it. It should be right, you see how this thumb is right there? I could almost pull through, although I don't, with that thumb. I could almost use this thumb to do a lot of my motions if I wanted it to. I don't, because I find it loses grip, but you could do that. So yeah, very tight grip when you're doing this, and it can be done very smoothly. And again, for execution, yes. And sometimes if one of these fingers switch, I'll alternate between which one will happen, because sometimes it'll slip and my next finger will go, because I go so quick with it. But I've learned to alternate normally it's like this, and I just did a U prime, so now I use it there. But then sometimes, if I do my first U prime, I end up having to do it again. So I'll go like this here, and sometimes I'll do my U prime here, and then I'll do another U prime there. That way I can end with just the U here. If that makes sense. Let me go over again. U prime there. Sometimes I'll use that, and that'll normally work. But sometimes if my finger slips, I'd be very adaptable. So that's that T-Perm. The other thing I'll do with the T-Perm is if I have a T-Perm from Y2 away, or actually let me phrase that. I do that right and left-handed. So if I find that, so here's the right-handed one right here, same thing there. And I try and mirror that as well as I can on my left hand, although I don't have it necessarily down. And I rarely have to actually do this. But you see here, use the same fingerings. And that's something a lot of people have trouble with, but it's really not that bad. I haven't really had to do it very much, and sometimes I end up re-gripping, even though I shouldn't. But that's just because my left thumb isn't good. I recommend trying being as ambidextrous with this as possible. Okay, the only other T-Perm that I'll do sometimes is if I have a T-Perm and it's... Okay, that was stupid. I should have just done the inverse of the alg. But if I have a T-Perm and it's U2 away, I actually use this alg, and I believe Felix suggested this a while ago. I had a friend of mine taught me it, where you start the alg normal, and then right here, you do a U instead of that U prime, sorry, and then you do an F prime, which when you pull in that pair there, it does the U2 automatically. So again, I get to here, come down, U prime now, F prime, and it does a U2, you see right here. So those are the only other T-Perm I use, and those finger tricks you just saw demonstrated are going to come up in almost every single one of my PLLs, because I always try and save time in that way. Alright, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you.